It says live there. Let's see about over
It
here.
says we are. I'm waiting for it to come in over here on YouTube. Good morning, Shel.
Good morning, Peg.
I'm so glad you're feeling well enough to be with us today.
Just barely.
Yeah, well, you just take it easy. Everybody understands.
My other one hasn't come in to say it's live yet.
Well,
Oh,
it's
there it
it's
goes.
coming in on my phone, so we're
Yeah,
there.
it just did.
So,
All right.
and I don't see anybody in the chat yet, but that's okay.
Uh,
Just usins.
just Dustin's. Well, I'm putting on some art guard because I
Yeah,
know
I
I'm
think
going to
that's
get
a pretty
messy.
good idea. I'm grabbing mine too.
It's going to be a messy day, I have a feeling.
Hey, there's Sybil. Hi, Sybil.
Hi, Sybil.
She's been doing some awesome art.
Yeah.
There's Carla. Hey, good morning, Carla. There's Cindy.
Awesome.
Hi.
So today we're doing Pick a Stick Challenge for August.
There's Debbie Cork. Hello, hello from across the big water.
Debbie and Andrea.
Hi, Andrea. Yeah, pick a stick can be whatever you want it to be. I was pulling out some colors, and I was pulling out some paints, and then I thought, I should use some other media too. And you don't necessarily have to do paints and things. I mean, these are paints because I was looking for the burnt sienna and the seafoam, but I've got a lot of inks and other things too. I also have some tissue paper. So we'll see where this heads today because I'm not sure which direction I'm going. What are you going to do today?
Well, I was looking at the Pick a Stick Challenge and I was looking at this seafoam color and I was thinking about these paints that I haven't gotten out since I first got them from Finnabar Art Basics. And they have this patina set.
Yeah.
Which has this one color. Oh, I was just looking at the two colors, but there's this like real seafoam. I hope these are not dried up. Oh my gosh, it's gonna ruin my whole plan if they're dried up. Oh, they're dried up. Okay.
Oh, darn it.
I should have looked at that first. But anyway, the colors of the burnt sienna reminds me of like copper and rust and stuff like that. And then with the seafoam, it seemed to me like it would be like bronzy, rusty patina. Doesn't that sound like that's what it should be?
Yeah.
With those colors. So then I was thinking, and then the first one was parts. I was like, well, I need to make an assemblage. I need to make assemblage art. So that's
That'll be
what my
fun.
plan was, and I was going to patina it with these paints, which are now dried up. That's terrible. I used them one time.
Best laid plans, right?
Yeah. Well, this one's not completely dried up. The copper's not, but the seafoam color, the one that I was thinking of when I saw it in the first place, is dried up.
Is it one of those that can be reconstituted? Can you add some liquid to it and see if it'll come back?
I mean, it's hard. It's hard. It's the kind that has this kind of like sandy stuff in it.
Oh, so it's a medium.
Yeah, it's like a special
oh,
effects
yeah.
paint.
Okay.
And I think it's done for.
Yeah, I don't
I
think I
think that
have any of
this
that
color's
stuff.
done for either also, so I guess I should just throw them away.
I wonder if
we'll have to come up with something similar in my.
I need to look at my color stuff.
The copper color one is got something in it, but can't even get the lid back on. So I could maybe
I've
use
got
that.
some of this Nouveau embellishment stuff. I've got some Inca Gold stuff.
Well, apparently that stuff doesn't last
because seafoam in those.
I don't remember when I used it, but then I also was looking at, I've been sick and I haven't made any art for a couple weeks, but day 19 is dip on the abstract August, and so I thought I would make something abstract, and then I thought, oh well, if I'm going to do an assemblage and I'm going to do something 3D, I have these letters, and I could start with those as my parts, and I could spell the word in an abstract way. Dip.
Yeah.
Instead of actually dipping something. I thought, well, that's kind of funny. So I got those out to start with. So let's start with that.
So we got some more people in here. We got Nell and Peggy and Barbara Clark. Hello, hello. Rennie, I don't think I said hello to you.
Hello, hello, hello. So my base is just going to be a canvas panel because I have a ton of these. So I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to glue stuff down with this heavy 3D matte gel. It doesn't dry, and I usually use it with hot glue, but since I cleaned my room, I can't find my hot glue gun right now. Plus, this room was taken over by other people during our COVID situation at our house, and so I haven't been in here. It's just like, yeah. There's just been situations beyond my control.
Absolutely. So I just, I'm in a journal. This is a piece that I had started out with some abstract stuff. And because the prompt for today is dip, I think it's dip, right? I'm going to dip a brush in some water. And I'm going to get some of this is a spa blue, which is kind of seafoam looking to me. I'm going to get some of that. And I actually want to dilute this a little bit. So I'm going to get my spritz bottle and dilute that paint just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, because I want this to just flow on this page. And I want to bring in those colors that are part of the prompts. So this was done some time ago in my journal. This is just a abstract sketch that I put in here with a, what do they call it? Stabilo pencil. And then I used a water brush to bring out the shading on that. So I'm just going to get that color in here. And yeah, I'm not being real careful. I can come back and redefine some of those edges with my Stabilo later. But I want to get some color into this because right now it's just black, white, and gray. And I want some of those other colors on this page. And I do like the colors for this month. That burnt sienna and seafoam, that's gorgeous to me. Let's see. Where do I want to go with this? I'm going to jump over and put this in here.
So does everybody know what assemblage art is?
I love assemblage.
I'm not sure if the thing is that the words mixed media have been used to describe assemblage art a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's
especially with like Finnabar art basics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mixed media is a generalized term, which means using more than one media. Media being paint or sculpture or ink or all these different type of things. Using more than one in a piece means mixed media. So assemblage art is a section or a category that could be applied to mixed media because you're using a lot of stuff mixed together, but it's not the only thing. And I see people say, oh, I'm going to do some mixed media, and then what they do is assembly because that's what they learned mixed media means, but that's not actually the case. So it's kind of confusing. Sometimes these companies confuse people, I think. So you're like, oh, look at this. This is mixed media.
Well, because they use those terms interchangeably. What they want to do is get it out in the marketplace. So they will use those terms just to sell product.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's not really what it is.
Yeah. It just confuses people, I think.
Yeah.
So
I think it does confuse people.
it does, but they don't care.
But I'm
They don't want you to buy
confused
stuff.
easily, so there you go.
I don't know if I can cut these right now. Ugh. These pieces I'm gluing on here are made out of chipboard. They're like die cuts out of chipboard. And it's heavy and thick, and it makes great texture for assemblage. But it's going off the edges, and I wanted to kind of trim it.
So you can see the difference where she's compiling components. And I am definitely working on a flat surface in a journal. Oh, Shel's got the spin of death there. Oh dear. Not sure what's going on with her internet. That's not good. So I'm just getting this color down. And I think what I want to do with this is I'm actually going to mix some burnt sienna in with this blue. I've got some burnt sienna here. Oh, she's dropped off. She'll have to come back. Yeah, I don't know. She's given it her best shot, and I know she's not feeling the best, so let's see what happens if she can come back and join us. So I'm gonna get some of that burnt sienna now, and I want to water that down too. Oh, I don't squirt very well left-handed. Isn't that funny? There we go. Finally got something out of there. So I'm going to use some of that burnt sienna. You guys are watching paint dry. Oh boy, really exciting. Hi, Terry. This is one of those journals I've worked in before. I think it's a Diane Reevely journal, one of those small Diane Reevely journals. And yes, I did put it right on my page because, it's going to end up being on the page. I don't care. And I'm wetting it down to keep it wet and to make it flow. Because I'm not going to waste that paint. I'm going to use it. Well, yeah, play. You're left-handed, Peggy? Yeah, I wish I had more dexterity with my left hand, but I don't. So I try to do things with my left hand. It doesn't always work for me. There she is.
Sorry, guys. My laptop shut off.
Oh, dear.
It
Well,
says the
it's probably
battery's
trying to
low.
update or something. You know, that always happens right in the middle of a show.
I know. It just like everything just shut off. That is so weird. Anyway, I'm back. Sorry, guys. All right. The next step is square. They have these little Basil Basics chips that are square, and I thought maybe I'd use a few of those on my assembly to just, I don't know, just add them somewhere here and there for fun.
And everywhere.
Because you can like start to build up real height if you add. Like if I trim that one down and put it there, and then I put this one on top, now I've got another layer of height. That might work. Just to make it interesting. Just for fun. I'm not sure Basil is out there anymore.
Somebody bought Basil. I can't remember which company bought them. But the Basil papers are still there. They're just, can't remember who has them. Probably do a little Google research and it would tell us. So I want to take some of this and where's my rag? Whenever I want it, it's never right there. Need some more of this seafoam down here. I didn't get it covered very well. So now I'm going to take some of these two colors and I'm going to mix them together and see what we get. We get a nice cocoa brown. I like that. So let's use that color in here as an accent.
Ugh. Okay, that's kind of cool. With my squares. I think I'm going to turn my fan off now.
Yeah, I just hear it faintly. It's not annoying, it's just there.
That's because I can't regulate my temperature of my body.
I know. It's so hard when you've been sick.
I get really sweaty and then I get cold and I can't.
I get like that sometimes in the middle of the night. You know, you wake up and everything is soaked.
Yep, definitely. All right, so that takes care of square. So I've got parts, I've got square. The next one is weave. And I thought it would be kind of fun to weave some strips together and put them on there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure exactly. I might even just make them really small. I'd cut these in half inches, but I'm thinking maybe I might just make them super skinny, like 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, probably closer to 1/8. Now I'm not making them very straight. I had cut them on the cutter first, but now I'm like making them not very straight with my scissors.
So I should have a stylist here somewhere.
It might be kind of fun to just weave some of these together and add a little bit of texture with that. So that's what I'm going to do.
Here we go.
A few more.
Here's a stylist. Oh, congratulations, Peggy. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
So I'm gonna get some of that paint on the stylist, and I'm just gonna put some of that other color in here with my stylist. I'm dipping.
Dip, dip, dip.
Because we need to dip.
All right, so in order to weave these, I think I'm going to have to tape them down. Well, that's not a big enough piece of tape. Dummy. There we go. And we can just go like that. Don't have enough of them, of course. You have to cut more. Under, over, under, over, over, under, over, under.
And you know, when you use a stylus like this, the first time you dip it, it's a bigger dot, and then when you go back and do it several times, it gets smaller and smaller until you got pretty much no paint left on there. Kind of fun to play with. I don't know if you guys can see that, where I've added a little bit of texture using the stylist. I also want to come back to these and get just a little bit darker tone and add some movement on here so it's not just flat. And the sea foam, I want to deepen just a little bit, so I'm going to get some cobalt teal. Put a drop of that DecoArt Media cobalt teal in there. And mix that up. That's still not enough. I want it a little bit deeper. One more drop.
One more.
And then I'm going to use that in this area. See how we're just using different shades of the same colors from the Pick a Stick challenge. And that's how I kind of like to use prompts, is to, you know, think outside of just what the prompt is and what can I do with that prompt? How can I change it? How can I make it my own?
Welcome, Ingrid. Ingrid says hello.
Hello, Ingrid. So this definitely is wet and it's going to have to dry down. I'm going to grab just a little bit more of that cobalt. Because we need a little bit of shading in that area too.
All right, let's pull you guys together. My little weave here. That one needs to be under that one. No, over. That one's not woven in there right. I didn't glue any of these yet. I wanted to kind of keep it a little bit open like a cane weave. But let's see what I should do here. They're now all wiggling, so maybe I should have glued it.
And I'm going to get a little white also.
This is taking too much time.
And we'll get that up in this area. And lighten that just a little.
All right. You silly thing. What I wanted to do was kind of have this as like a little section.
So I'm going to wet that burnt sienna a little bit. So I just want to add a little bit of that in here also. And so now this has got to dry. I've still got all this paint over here. So I'm going to do a little bit of spreading that out. This will be a background for something else.
Something about that size. All right. I'm going to do this one with blue glue.
It's the start of something good, right? So that's got to dry down. And that is dip. We did dip for our Abstract August piece, right?
Yep, that was the prompt for today.
So going back to the pick a stick challenge, still got these colors out here, and I've got some tags. I think I'll work on a tag. These are those manila tags.
Seems like a good plan.
And first thing is parts and square. So I've got some tissue. I thought I had some more in this blue tone. Do I not? No. All right, what did I do with that?
I didn't take it.
Likely story. Here, I've got some stuff. This will work. Oh, I know. I put it over there behind everything. Of course I did. Okay, so parts and square. I've just got some tissue paper. And I'm going to fold this up. And I will cut some squares. Out of my parts, out of my pieces of paper here, right?
Well, I wish that piece hadn't come out of there, because now it looks dumb. But I wanted to put this little weave in here. I wonder if I can weave one back in there.
not a perfect square. My scissors have some stickum on it. It's like I need to do something with that.
All my scissors have stickum on it. Every single pair. Oh, come on. This is very fussy.
I got some pieces. And let's just glue those down. Shall we?
That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to glue stuff down.
Yeah.
It's not working as well as it should.
I'm just going to use a glue stick to put that down.
Just get in there. Get in there. Having any more of your nonsense.
And there is a direction to this tissue, to the pattern in it. I'm not paying a lot of attention to that. I'm just putting it down. Just adding my square parts. And I need a towel because you get a little glue on the top side. I want to clean that off. No bad pictures in Norway.
That was random.
Yeah, I'm just reading the chat. You're right. The fjords, all of that stuff is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Peggy was getting a picture of Norway on her computer this morning.
Oh, I see. Okay,
That's
that
cool.
makes sense.
I watched, there's a chef that kind of goes around the Scandinavian countries, and he cooks outside. He does an outside kitchen. He's kind of cool. Where do I want this? Let's do this here. But, he cooks with the native foods, the fish and the berries and, all the stuff. And it's interesting, because let's face it, we do not have a lot of lingonberries here.
No. I wish we did, though, because they're good.
Yeah.
I think I'm only on the third step.
Okay, so that was parts and square. I did kind of weave them together a little bit. I mean, not in a typical woven pattern, but let's get a stencil that's got a little bit of weave to it, or a stamp or something.
That's a good idea.
I think we need to do that.
Okay, weave is done. Just get some of this stuff
Outdoor
out of the way.
kitchen. Oh, Rennie, that would be so cool. We've got a winery not too far from us that has one of those brick ovens that does amazing outdoor pizza. Oh, that coffee tastes good this morning, I'll tell you. All right, let me grab some kind of woven stencil.
I don't know if I'm happy with this or not. The next one is
Some of my
graphite.
favorites just happened to jump into my hand. I've got this one. When we did our retreat, and Mary Beth asked me, you know, what stencil I wanted to share with my friends, I said, this one, because I love this stencil. This is one of my favorites. And it does not have the name on it because it's not really a stencil, it's a mask. But Shel and I have used this over and over and over again.
Yeah, I love that one. What is it called? Brick and mortar, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's brick and mortar. I think it's one of Mary Beth's.
Yeah, it's one of her first ones.
Originals. Yeah. So I'm going to use just some titanium white with this. And I'm going to get a sponge. Get a sponge if I can find one here. This is just one of those applicator tools with a sponge tip. And I'm going to use some of that titanium white. And I'm just going to use my applicator and pick up some of that and work it into my sponge. And put some of that into the background here. I'm going to work right over, weave it all together, work right over the design that I have with those tissue. And I need to move it now because I've done that upper part.
Way too heavy.
So I'm going to come down here and finish this out. So you can see what we have going on here. Okay.
It's too big.
If you want to, you know, keep this moist because you may come back to it, just take a wet baby wipe. You know, you don't have to wash stuff right away. Just wrap it in a wet baby wipe. Keep it moist because I don't know if I will be coming back to that or not. We'll see. So that was weave. Oh, and now we've got graphite. Oh yeah, baby. What have I got here? I've got this extra large, very soft graphite from Derwent. So let me dry this a little bit. I could go directly to the paper with this graphite, you know, and just draw. I could just use it and draw, or I could, you know, use it, you know, around the edges. Put a little grunge there on the edge. It's very crumbly. I'm thinking what I might want to do, let's see, graphite, pastel, curl, staple. Oh, what do I want to do here? All right, let's do, I think what I'm going to do is use some of that color that we have here, this spa blue, which is close to this seafoam. So I'm going to come back to my sponge. Just going to clean some of that white off. Foraging, yeah. Well, we used to do a lot of foraging when the kids were little. I'd take them out. I don't know if you guys have heard about the Stalking the Wild Asparagus with Yule Gibbons. That was a book that I had at the time, and we would take the kids out on walks and trail rides and things, and I would teach them about all the stuff that was out in nature, you know, how you could dig cattail roots, and they were kind of like green beans, or mushrooms and wild parsnips and all of that stuff. We did all of that stuff when the kids were little, and I would get my reference materials. I'd have my mushroom book so that we were not poisoning anybody, you know, and I would identify the mushrooms that we were picking, and we'd go home and, you know, cook them, you know, in the fall. Like now we'd start to find our puffball mushrooms, and there was just a lot of stuff that you could teach kids out in nature. It was fun. So I'm gonna use this other stencil with this seafoamy color. But I think I'm also gonna, since this is wet, I'm gonna take something here. Let me get a knife.
I need that to stay down.
And kind of grunge this up with a little bit of this graphite. Just gonna scrape some of that down in there.
I need a different type of key.
And then I've got this on my stencil, so I'm going to flip it over. See if I can get that to print with the graphite and paint that's on there. Oh yeah, loving that. And we'll do the paint one more time up here. And once again with the graphite.
I'm never going to make it. This thing is not going to be even close to done.
And
if there's anything in here I can use.
Okay, I like that.
Might be fun right there.
Get some of this off of my stencil. Actually, what I should have done is take another tag Let's clean some of that off on another tag. See what we can create. Get another background started. All right, so that was graphite. Next is pastel. Clean some of this up. Gonna wrap that up again. And I do the pastels. Well, see them. There we go. Got pastels.
It could be pastels or it could be a pastel color.
That's
I'll tell you what,
pretty close.
this is getting done today, so
It's pretty close to the burnt sienna. So let's put some of that pastel burnt sienna on here. Work some of that in. And then, of course, you need to seal that. Wonder what I did with my... I got some Spectra Fix. So I'm just going to spray that with some Spectra Fix to set it. And dry that.
Oh, come on. It's probably time to start doing gesso anyway. I could do that.
Graphite bent.
Come on, where's my lid? Can't just leave this stuff open, it dries too quick. Okay, I've glued a bunch of stuff on there.
Hey, there's Jackie. Hi. Hi. How you doing, girlfriend? I know. I've seen your art. I'm so glad to see you back. And you need to take whatever time you need. You know, we'll be here. We'll be here. We're waiting for you to get better. So I really like that. You see how we did the tissue in the background and we integrated it with the stencils and brought in the graphite and pastels. Next it says curl. That's a little bit of a challenge for me with this. My paper's curling all on its own. Does that count? These tags are curling. Kind of like pearl and staple. Yeah, please do post her channel, Barb. Have people, go watch her. And if you can find her on Instagram, post that too. Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so got a good start on that. Now,
Whoops. Stay straight.
Curl, staple, curl. What do I want to do for curl?
Maybe just make a curly shape.
Well, I've got curly shapes on there, but
well, then highlight a curly shape.
That's true. I could do that because, going back to that whole graphite and all, I've got a Stabilo in a, since the color is this burnt sienna, this is a brown tone, which would work really nicely with that. Instead of, I don't want to go with black. Black would be too harsh. But this works just like, you can wet it and blend it out just like the black Stabilo. And these do come in other colors. I've got like a blue and I don't know if I have a green, a red maybe. But Stabilo is kind of cool for that. I also, one of the things we were talking about pearl, and I've got this Nouveau embellishment mousse, which I don't get out often enough. This one doesn't even look like I've been in it. Might not have been. And it's got a pearlized color, sort of. So that might be kind of fun too. So let's start with emphasizing some of these curvy lines with my brown Stabilo.
Well, there's the gesso anyways. So that's the next step when you're doing this type of assemblage art, is to go over with gesso, black gesso or white gesso or whatever you want, over everything.
That is so cool. That's always fun. It just makes it all come together.
Yeah, and then after that you got to highlight it, of course, which I'm going to do with the colors like the graphite and the sea foam and the burnt sienna. In fact, I might start with burnt sienna. I don't have any. I forgot to get water. I don't have anything to put my brush in.
Thanks for posting that, Barb. Appreciate it.
This isn't really dry. So anyway, that's a good coat of it though. But
I'm just using a water reservoir brush to wet that. And this will work just like the black Stabilo. Once it dries, it'll set up, be more permanent.
what should I do? This might be fun to do with black gesso instead.
Yeah. Then you can put something shiny over it.
Yeah.
Something pearly. Yeah, I pulled some shiny stuff out. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. I got this, I found these in the drawer. I've got these Nouveau jewel drops and then this crystal drops. You can tell how much I've used it, right?
Yeah.
I'm so bad. I probably got it for a class or something, and yeah.
There used to be that Nouveau mousse.
Yeah, that's what this is
that,
the
yeah.
embellishment mousse. And this has kind of that coppery tone.
Do you think I should do this with black gesso instead of white?
Well, what are you going to put on top?
Well, I was going to put those fancy paints on top. But I got this copper one, and then I have to find something with seafoam.
Well, yeah, so the copper would show up on the black. That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Now, this definitely isn't going to get done on this show because we've got like 3 minutes, and I'm only at this point. So I guess we won't worry about it too much right now.
We got it half hour, honey.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess I could work on it, couldn't I?
Yeah. You got time.
We were done in...
Yeah, let me see if I can find it for you. Instagram.
I'm not all together with it. I'll just tell you that.
So there's Jackie on Instagram. It's Creations by J. Sherry. So go follow her. Okay. I hope you guys are following each other. You know, I mean, yeah, we want you to follow us too, but I mean, you know, you're our group, you're our peeps, you're our community. Okay, so I've got all this stuff down here. I'm actually going to wet some of this pastel too and blend it out a bit. And that's what community is for, you know, sharing. That's art, joy, sharing. That's what we're all about, is sharing. So
yeah. I get the gesso down in all those bits and parts, and whoops, that thing will not stay. I'm telling you what.
Okay, so I want to seal this now because I'm going to come back with another layer. And I'm going to grab some clear gesso and is this big enough? I think this gel plate is big enough that I can use this. So I'm just going to put some clear gesso. Oh, I popped the lid off. Onto my plate. And get my brayer wherever it's living right now. I had so much stuff on my desk. Ah, here, got one. Woohoo! So I'm going to put a coat of clear gesso on my gel plate because I want to seal that layer. Oh, and of course this one isn't big enough, but I'll come back. So get a coat on this, and then
Sure, got every nook and
get the
cranny.
bottom half here too.
Why do they call it nook and cranny? That's such a weird thing.
Nook and cranny?
The nooks and the crannies.
Yeah.
That's weird. I gotta go get some water to put my brush in.
So this has got to dry. I am going to throw just a little bit of paint on that clear gesso because we still have that other tag we were working with, right? Got a little bit of goober stuff going on in there. I don't care. So here's that other tag we were starting with, and I'm going to get that. Do I want that one, or do I, where's that other stencil? This one, my favorite. And I'm going to pick up some of that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good enough. All right. So now I've got this going on, and I've got this going on. That's not wet enough. It's drying pretty rapidly. Yep.
What the heck is that?
So cleaning off my stencil. Got some of this on here. So we will overprint.
Somehow I managed to have a few spots I missed, I guess.
Got a couple of other tags going on here. This one doesn't have much yet. Let's do this.
Stiff. Yeah, that's from my hands.
Okay, so I've got that. And that. Just gonna clean that off with one of these other prints. And I can put my gel plate back.
Kind of hard to get down inside that
What's
weaving
going on here? Thanks, Carla. Yeah, well, the colors are directly from this month's prompts. honestly, I didn't have a whole lot to say about that. It's that seafoam and burnt sienna. And I think they make a lovely combination. This is still a little damp. We've got the start on a few other tags. And I need to dry that.
Okay, so the next step is graphite, and I think I'm just going to use some graphite colored acrylic paint to start my process here. I need something to use as a palette. I seem to have no palette here. I guess maybe I'll just use my paper. I'll just do that. So graphite is a gray color, although it does have a little bit of shine to it. So maybe I should add some pearly stuff to this somewhere in this mess of a pearl medium. If I could only find it, that would be great.
Well, it's almost dry.
Of course, nothing is where you need it when you need it. I could use some.
And what do we have? We have pearl and staple left here out of the pick-a-stick, right? I know I have the perfect thing for staple. You guys are gonna laugh.
So here's pearl mix-in. Let's try some of that. See if I can't turn this gray paint into something more like.
Seen this stencil from Andrew? It's in the shape. It's in the shape of. Oh, that doesn't help. Duh. Black one. It's in the shape of staples.
Oh, I love that one.
Isn't that cool?
There's one with push pins too.
Yeah, he's got push pins. He's got. I mean, how clever, right? And I've got this embellishment mousse. I don't know if I want to use it with that or if I want to. I think, let me see what this salvage patina looks like in the distress oxide. Oh, that's a nice one. See, now this is, the distress oxide is a mixture of both a pigment and dye ink. I'm thinking let's do that with this. I need another tool because you don't want to mix this with your regular dye inks because it's got pigment in it, and then you're putting that pigment on top of something else. So let me get a tool.
Oh, I want a dry brush. Come on, not a wet brush.
But this is fun. So we'll use staple in a stencil.
That's pretty awesome.
Let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it. That is pretty cool. I think I need some up here on this other corner. You guys see that? That is a fun image. Okay, so I'm gonna use that same Distress Oxide on the edges. I need to find my Velcro, because what I typically do is I Velcro a dot on the bottom to stick these two so that I don't mess these up. Oh, I'm loving that. That is fun. What a fun thing. Okay, so that was Salvage Patina. I'm wondering, I've got Fire Brick. I was trying to find something that was close to the colors, which are the Seafoam and the Burnt Sienna. You know how it is when you're looking for colors. And I was thinking that this Fire Brick might work. Let me see. Oh yeah, it's a little redder, a little oranger, but it's still, I think it still works with this, right? So let's go back to, repeat. I repeat. Let's go back to this stencil, which we used before. Let's put some of that Fire Brick, and we're going from side to side. We're anchoring from side to side here. See how that's anchoring across? And then we're going to do the same thing top to bottom. We're going to anchor. And let me get this going here. Yeah. So we will add a little of that in. Sticking with our color palette.
Yep. I'm adding in this copper color now because it's kind of what I think of with the sienna. I think I'm going to actually add some actual sienna though. But I'm just dry brushing over the top of all these textures because it makes it super interesting looking. And this stuff is really thick and dry. So that's working out to highlight the textures pretty well. I think I'm going to get some sienna paint to really bring in that color, which is a pretty color. I can find some.
Jackie has an Etsy store also, so check her out. And there's a number of you guys that have Etsy stores. So, if you're looking for product, check your friends, see what they have, because a lot of them have. I mean, Shel's got her wonderful new stencils from Stencil Girl. Have you guys seen those? They are awesome. They are awesome. I need coffee. I don't know about you guys, but I need coffee.
It's not really burnt
All right, I
sienna.
need something. That's a little more something. I was playing around yesterday. Remember, I was maybe you guys don't remember. I was cutting some of my own stencils and playing around with things. But I don't think I want those. I think I want something a little more. Oh, I've got this new. This is a Stencil Club stencil from Trina. Oh my gosh, this is Trina's. Oh my gosh. All right. Trina does awesome stencils, and I think we need to use this. And I think I'm just going to put some of these. Yeah. Okay. Now, I don't know if I want to do. Yeah, I think we're going to get a black gesso and maybe highlight that a little bit with, or maybe not black gesso. What is this one? This one is, yeah, this is Mars Black. Here we go. Mars Black paint. Got it. We're there. We got it. So I'm just going to get a little of that Mars Black out here. And another tool. I've got it's just those makeup sponges from the dollar store. They work really well. I'm going to load that up. Where do I want to put these? I think I can fit 3. Let's see if I go here. Almost. Okay, I'm gonna give it a try. I like this one. And odd numbers, 3. We like odd numbers.
Get back to this copper color. So that's the sienna. That's an actual burnt sienna color. It really does look like rust. Looks rusted. And this one is actually colored. Might be kind of fun to put a little bit of that on there, like it's streaking, like this is all made out of metal.
Just slide this down a little bit so I've got, let me do the one at the top first. Make sure I've got room.
Streaks of rusty rust.
Oh, I'm so happy I get to play with Trina's new stencil. I don't always get out the ones right away from Stencil Club. I think I just got this like 2 days ago, maybe.
I don't think I've even got mine. For some reason over here in Arizona, I get them later.
Well, have you even been out of the house to go check?
Well, no, not me, but I think my husband has. He's probably checked something. Although all of us have been sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen the sunshine in a week and a half.
Yeah. Well, this, okay, I'm looking at this stencil now and I'm seeing that this is both a mask and a stencil. I could have, oh, I wasn't thinking, I could have put that color down underneath and then stenciled this over the top if I had cut those masks out. But it's still so cool, right? Those are still pretty cool. Trina, you did good. So I've got the black. I've got some other pretty cool stencils. Let me see. Isn't that the coolest, Barb? That's pretty neat. I've got some of Robin McClendon's stuff too. I should look and see where that is.
Is she the one that makes the really cool free printout? You could print it out and use it. I can't remember. Okay, I've got a lot of this copper on there now. That's pretty. And I think it's time to add the patina. Probably going to need a new... See, it's looking pretty darn rusted, right? Like iron. I guess that stuff. So I've used the color graphite, and I've used burnt sienna.
Oh, look what I just came up with.
Yeah.
What did I do with that? These are some of Jackie's.
This color
they work
is
really
called
well with this. Look at that.
Ocean Green. And it's very close to the seafoam color. This one is from Hobby Lobby's brand, Master's Touch.
This would have been fun too. Maybe I'll do that on another one. But look at this. What do I want to do here? Do I want this? Or do I want...
Oh, come on.
Okay. Just so you know, these are some of Jackie's. And look at the, okay, this one. This one is, look at this one. This has both the remember I was telling you about using the mask. Let me get that get some of this Nouveau.
Oh shoot, too dark.
Need to get that washi off of there so I can get that last little corner.
So my pastel is this light green color. It's a pastel color. And I'm not going to use curl because I put some pearl in, and I think that that is all the steps for the pick a stick. I might want a little bit of like darker around some of these, but not sure. Looks pretty good. What do you guys think?
Awesome.
It's dimensional. It looks like a rusty piece of metal, sort of.
Yeah.
Has the word dip. Probably as good as it's going to get. This time is about up.
Let me get this. Not doing a real good job here. I'm just trying to knock something out in the last few minutes. But look at that, guys.
Cool.
Is that cool? So this could go on one of those other tags we started, right? You know, it can become part of something else that we got going on here. And I would take a marker or a pen and just fill in where those bridges are on your stencil.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Those little pieces that hold it all together.
Yep, you got to have bridges or else your stencil falls apart.
Right, right. But this is a really cool, fun design, Jackie. Loving it.
That's from my fingers. My fingers have looking good.
So that's fun. So we did this. We did this. I think this needs toning down just a little bit. And I've got that.
I feel like it needs a darker color in there. Where's my Stabilo? Maybe there should be a little bit more dark than some of these.
So there's that tag. This needs something else here. But we did staple. I think I need to do something with pearl to finish that out, but we're running out of time. So I'm not gonna finish that tag on, but I've got these pearlized drops. So don't be surprised if these show up as the pearl part. And then remember we started started out with the whole abstract August thing, and I was working on this journal page. And so this is dried down now. And I can come back and do, you know, some final work on this. But we've kind of run out of time for today.
We usually do.
Yeah, we usually do. Usually use up our time pretty good, don't we? So try out the pick a stick challenge, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to bed, Shell. Absolutely, Rennie. She's telling me though she's got to work on some other stuff, so we'll see.
Yeah, I've got some deadlines.
Yeah. So hopefully her strength holds out. I hope Jackie's strength holds out. I hope you both continue to feel better. You know, my prayers are with you all.
Oh, that's better. I like that. Putting back in some of that Stabilo all pencil is nice, just to give those really deep, dark spaces, to make it more dimensional even.
Very cool, Shell. So that's it from Art Joy of Sharing for this week, guys.
Yeah. We'll see you next week with a monthly wrap up of our abstract August, which I've hardly even got to play in, which sucks because it's my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm mad
Well,
about
and
that.
I'm traveling this week, so I got to go pack a bag and figure out what I'm going to do for next week so that I've got it with me. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye bye.